Hello. I wanted to do this video on the dark side of spiritual awakening. I said I would do this series because there's a lot that's coming through right now for me personally that I'm seeing other people go through. And I think these are really important topics to talk about. One size does not fit all, so please only take what resonates from this video. Also, I want to put this disclaimer, and I may put a trigger warning. If you are fearful of certain subjects, certain things like energy siphoning, black magic, destiny swaps, because that's what this video is going to be about, if those things bring you fear, this may not be the time for you to watch this video. And so always tap into yourself, tune into your discernment. Is this something that is helpful for me at this time? Because everything that I'm talking about in this video is meant to keep you aware and informed. It's important to understand, and my guides are always telling me, as there's a little butterfly there, to be forearmed, or to be forewarned is to be forearmed. And so when you are aware of something, when you are in the awareness of something, it can kind of help you to recognize it and when you're dealing with it in your life, in your experience. However, sometimes we're still actively healing and still actively in a space where certain topics and some information is not for our highest good to know. And so I'm leading with this disclaimer because if anything related to like black magic and sort of the darker side of spirituality is something that would bring you fear, you don't want to be in a place of fear right now with the energy that we're in. Manifestations are coming very, very quickly. And so again, this is just one that you might want to sit out and not watch. But I am going to relay the information in the most positive and empowering way that I can. All right. So for those who are familiar with my work, my name is Sadie. My channel is Yen Reiki Light. I do a lot of tarot readings, oracle card readings, some astrology, weekly energy readings, although I haven't done one for 2 weeks, but I'll be back on with that. And I talk about a lot of spiritual topics because I kind of had to learn on my own. At certain points, I was guided to certain teachers, but I had to learn a lot on my own, and I had to learn a lot the hard way. And so I thought this is like a good way that I can kind of share what I know. Again, I'm only speaking of my experience and from my experience. One size does not fit all. So things that I speak about may not resonate with you and may not be your path, and that's okay. Because even though we're all of God and we're all of source, we're not all the same. All right. And that's really, really important to understand and recognize that you are meant to express and to learn and to empower yourself in your own unique gifts, in your own unique light, in your own unique expression of divinity, which is going to be different than mine, and it's going to be different than everybody else's. One of the things, though, when I started really waking up on my spiritual path is that I recognized not just that I was being psychically attacked, but that I was just leaking energy. Like I would have trouble manifesting things, or I would have trouble, or I would manifest something and then automatically something would fall apart. And the reason why I'm doing this video now is because if anyone who watches is in a position where you see your manifestations are sort of like 50%, like some things manifest, other things don't, or you see that you actually are manifesting things that you want, but then it turns bad or it goes sideways, these things that I'm going to speak about in this video could be the reason why. All right. And so let's get into, and this is going to be a longer video, so just bear with me because there's a lot that wants to come through and a lot of topics that I want to discuss. So let's get into energy siphoning. Here's the thing about energy siphoning. We live in a world, in this 3D world, where almost everything is designed to siphon our energy. Okay? The music, the media, the food, what's put in the food. And again, I got to be careful what I say. But just if you understand that although we live on Earth and we're in a 3D reality, a lot of our conditioning in this reality, a lot of the things that we are taught to do or made to buy and consume, they're actually not for our good. They're not of our highest good. And they're kind of unnatural ways of being and living. You're seeing this a lot with the sort of expansion of artificial intelligence and those sorts of things. Like, there is definitely a move towards that which is artificial and moving you from your natural state, your natural space. And anything that is sort of artificial, it's an energy source too, but it needs a natural energy source to thrive off of. So again, I have to be careful how I say things, but you are the natural energy source. And so energy siphoning happens every day in our daily lives, unless you live completely off the grid, completely out of society. If you do, you're not watching this video and you don't have any electronic devices. But it happens. So it's just important to be aware of that, because what Spirit was telling me, and goes for those who are seeing like things are not manifesting, energy feels stuck, things don't seem to be moving forward, or they'll start to move forward and you'll have a lot of false starts. Like, you'll see things moving forward, you'll have good things come in, and then it's a string of bad things come in. And sometimes that has nothing to do with your belief systems or your ability to manifest. It has to do with energy leaks, things pulling on your energy, or specific energetic blocks or energetic manipulations that are in your vicinity that are kind of blocking your energy from vesting in the way that you desire it to vest. I'll give you an example. My guides kind of said it this way. Imagine you have a car, right? And for the car, you need a battery to start the car. So if, when the battery's running great, you can easily get to the destinations that you want to get to. Some destinations take longer, just like some manifestations take longer, but you're on the way to them as long as the battery has a full charge. If, for instance, there's some problem unknown with your car, or something is pulling energy from that battery, the car battery, and then you're trying to start the car in the morning and you can't get it started, that's kind of like the same thing that I'm talking about here. If you see that, like, there's situations and circumstances in your life where it's like things just start flowing, things just start moving, it could be because of these reasons. And so you need energy to manifest. You need your intention and your attention. But if your energy is being siphoned, or if you're dealing with psychic attack, a lot of times what it does is it diverts your energy. It diverts your attention to little issues, little problems, things that are happening, what's not working. And so then it's pulling you away from your desired outcome. And understanding that this happens every day in our life, we're constantly sort of bombarded with energies that are not natural and that are not cohesive to us being in our energy. It is extremely important to know yourself and know like your own sort of energetic homeostasis space. Homeostasis in biology is 98.6. It's like the optimum temperature, the optimum level in which your cells and your organs and everything in your body is working together. We also, because we are energetic beings, we are electro and magnetic beings, all right? The magnetic aspect of us is our divine feminine energy. The magnetic draws things towards us. The electric energy is our masculine energy, our divine masculine energy. The masculine energy is the active energy. We are both active and passive energy. We're all masculine and feminine. It doesn't matter what your gender is, what your sexuality is, and how you present. We have both. And you need both to work together in creating the most optimal energetic homeostasis for you, where you are in that field of your own power and you're so in tune and aligned to that field of power that you're just bringing in the life, the desired life and the desired outcomes that you want in any situation. Even when things don't go the way that you want to, the energy will always revert back and come into something that's balanced and cohesive and beneficial for you. That's kind of like the optimum, right? And that's what we all wish to achieve through a spiritual awakening, through enlightenment. And so when you're just aware of your own energy, it makes it easier to be aware of what's not yours and where you're leaking energy. Situations that can leak your energy, and you'll feel literally an energetic drain. Lower vibrational spaces, things that are lower vibrational than your normal space. You know, have you ever like gone to a restaurant and eaten something and then all of a sudden like your just body just feels like terrible and you're just like, I wish I didn't eat that. That's an example of energy siphoning. Like, you shouldn't be feeling that way when you eat. There's something off. The feeling of not feeling good is telling you something is out of that homeostasis, something is out of balance. So this is true for us in our work, in our relationships. Really start to become aware of where you feel like most empowered, where you feel most like yourself, and where you feel like your energy is being siphoned or being taken. Because once you can become aware of it, that's when you'll start taking action and making decisions in which you're protecting your energy and you're not allowing external things to siphon it. You know, again, sometimes we cannot control the environments that we're at. We're around other people, we're around certain family members, but you can limit how much of your energy is being siphoned out. You do have power over that, okay? With energy siphoning too, and when it comes to other people, a lot of people don't recognize that they are doing it. So I want to say that, say you have a family member and they only call you up when they're going through a crisis, and they only call you up when they want to borrow money. They may not be consciously aware of the fact that they're siphoning your energy. They might be running programs such as unworthiness or victimhood or other traumas that they're playing out subconsciously, which makes them act in a certain way. And so it's always important to recognize that in situations like that, Your power is just to set healthy boundaries. You've got to own your power and understand your energetic homeostasis and what feels good for you, what feels right for you, and what doesn't. This is where discernment comes in. On the other hand, though, there are people, they're a lot of the times called energetic vampires. There are narcissists. There are people who are abusers in some form or way, con artists, charlatans. There's different names for different types of energy siphoning that often will be in our lives, in our environment too. Especially if you're a highly empathic, highly compassionate, very caring person, you'll often attract these people because these people represent your shadow. We are both light feminine and masculine, but we are also both light and dark. We have shadow. We have our light side, our divinity, but we have our shadow, our ego, our traumas, our wounds, our fears. And so it's not so much that you're attracting it because you are a bad person or you're that energy. You're attracting it because it's getting you to see, it's an external mirror that's getting you to see, hey, these are areas in my life where I still need healing, where I still need work. And those types of people will siphon your energy. They'll siphon your money. They'll siphon your resources. I've seen a lot of these things on TikTok lately where it's like, my body was rejecting this person and I knew that this wasn't right for me. And then it's like a picture of someone who's like normal and happy. And then the picture of the aftermath of that end of that relationship or the end of that friendship, and that person's gained 100 pounds and they're unhealthy and they're unhappy. Your body will let you know if you start gaining weight for no reason, and it's not a medical reason. You're not having a thyroid issue, you didn't have some other medical issue, or you're not taking medication that's making you gain weight or that slowed your metabolism down, but you're in an unhealthy relationship or at an unhealthy job. It's gonna show you. And so again, just being aware helps you to be forearmed, helps you to be vigilant in, okay, this is for me, this is not for me. So let's go to when it gets a little darker, when it gets a little heavier. And I say this with love and compassion, but you have to understand, in this world, duality is a simultaneous experience. So we experience both light and dark. We have both light and dark aspects of us. We experience both the light and the dark. That is what this world is. And so in knowing that and understanding that and recognizing that, just as you, as someone who might be an empath, a seer, a light worker, a healer, you use your gifts of love and kindness and compassion to uplift other people, to help other people. There are those people in this world who will use manipulation, lies, deception, very ego-driven things to hurt and harm other people for their benefit. This is where negative energy manipulation comes in. Everything's energy. We are energy. And so when you're manifesting, you're setting your intention and you're focusing on, I manifested my dream car and I'm driving my dream car and I test driving my dream car. And you're so excited about that. That's a positive form of energy manipulation. You're setting the intention and you're creating that desired outcome. You're seeing yourself driving that Porsche or whatever it is that you want as your dream car, and you're, I'm just seeing someone right now with the convertible Porsche, just driving on the beach and driving around and just enjoying life. That's a positive manifestation. However, though, there are negative ways in which you can manipulate energy. Early on my spiritual journey, I was someone who did not believe in black magic and witchcraft and any of that stuff. And then I had an initiation that kind of like opened my third eye and showed me like the world behind the world, and it really opened my eyes. And it was kind of shocking. Like, I wasn't expecting to see things the way that I saw them, and it really shifted my perspective. And so how I would describe black magic is, again, it's a negative form of energy manipulation. There's varying degrees of this. There is simple things such as like lies and you know, using words as weapons against someone. Gossip is a form of black magic. I say that because words have power. Words are living breath. And so because words can become real things, and because when you speak into the atmosphere, it goes into the ethers. So whoever hears what the words that you're speaking, it's being embedded, it's being implanted. And so when you're gossiping or someone's gossiping about you, that energy is being implanted in whoever hears it. Whether they believe it or not, it's still embedded in the consciousness. It's still implanted. And so how our conscious mind works is that we have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Our conscious mind is like thinking, perceiving, it's our cognitive abilities. However, though, our subconscious mind is always on, and it works kind of like a hard drive of a computer, which anything that it sees, connects to, gets downloaded into a file. And so a lot of times we have subconscious programming that's running the computer, that's running the cognitive thinking, okay? And so because words are spells, when someone is very negative towards you, either verbally abusive, mentally abusive, calling you names, bullying you, harassing you, or speaking illy about you behind your back, they are, whether they're intentionally doing it or not, or whether they are aware of it or not, they are engaging in a form of black magic. So it's more common than we think, because we think that a lot of us, and this is what I used to think too, it had to be like, you know, very skilled practitioners, which sometimes it is. They use baneful magic. But it's not always skilled practitioners. Sometimes it's just a person who's jealous of you, a person who's envious of you, a person who's angry at you for whatever reason, a person who doesn't like you because of your skin color, because of the way you speak, because of your hair, because of your glasses, because of the earrings that you're wearing. Like, people can choose any reason why they want to speak illy of you or speak badly of you or spread lies about you, and they are performing a ritual of black magic. It's still a ritual. It's an act. It's a deliberate act. Again, whether they are intentionally aware of that they're performing it or not, they're still actively engaged in it, which means they're consenting to it, and they're putting that energy and embedding it into someone else or on the ethers. Or, you know, you see this a lot on the internet where people hide. They don't show themselves, they don't show their face, they hide behind a screen name, but then they're saying all these things, you know, the trolls and all that stuff. That is a form of black magic, okay? So when you think about black magic, think about it in a more broad sense, because again, a lot of times, and I was this way too earlier on in my journey, where I just said, you know, oh, it's, you know, people have to do like, you know, certain rituals, certain candle magic. And yes, they do, but also they don't. They could just say the wrong thing to the right person. You know, they can speak, you know, you can have a coworker that doesn't want you to succeed, that's jealous of your abilities, and that could tell everybody else that you're not working, that you're lazy, that you're stupid, when that's further from the case. But if that's the person that everybody likes, that person's going to be believed. So just understand that these things are very commonplace in our life. Energy siphoning, black magic, very commonplace in our life, okay? Here's where it gets a little darker. Is that there are those who either work with certain entities or deities. Not everybody works with angels. I have guardian angels, I work with the archangels, but there's people who have guardian demons. There's people who have guardian negative entities that will work with them to siphon energy from others for their benefit and for their gain. And so we don't always know who someone is. We don't always know who we're dealing with. I saw this once of a former voodoo priestess who was saying that the way she would get someone in like a heavy dark magic spell, where she would do what I'm going to talk about next is destiny swap, where she would do a destiny swap is she would get that person angry. She would purposely and deliberately try to make that person angry, try to antagonize that person coming from the darkest space, because she understood that the energy of anger, with her intention and with the certain ritual that she did, kind of bound that person in that space when they allowed themselves to get angry enough where they would react or get triggered by what she was doing purposefully, to kind of get them to consent to the spell that she was working on. And so that's the one thing that I wanted to bring through in this video, is like, understand that there are people who, as there are light workers, there are also dark workers. People who work with darkness, people who work with certain entities and deities that are not of the light, that understand how to get you caught up in certain situations. And so really, really important, especially walking around these days, to not take things personally. If you get triggered, it's okay to get triggered, but acknowledge it, recognize it for yourself, remove yourself from certain situations, remove yourself from certain people, because it's that Chinese proverb, and I'm going to butcher this, but it's like, he who gets mad first, or he gets mad last wins, or something like that. So it's like, she understood how to manipulate the energy and get you to consent to it by getting people very angry, by getting people very upset. Rage baiting is a thing that happens. And so if you feel like you're in an environment or around a person who's purposely trying to antagonize you, purposely trying to get you to lower your vibration, and so now you're an energetic match to whatever they want to do or send to you, say no. Do not consent. Remove yourself from that energy. Remove yourself from that environment, because it's not worth it. Black magic can be done in many, many different forms. I'm not going to get into specifics. Again, I'll just say that it is a form of negative energy manipulation, where it is sort of like blocking you. It's used to either block you from something that's meant for you, or it's used to kind of keep you stuck and bound so that something else can siphon your energy. And so this devil card is a great depiction, because if you look at the card, these chains around these people, they're not like tight. It's like this necklace. Like, if I wanted to take this necklace off, I could. I could figure out a way, I could break the chain for them. She could lift that chain up, lift it up from her neck and be done. But part of the energy and the density of black magic, if you're just talking in terms of energy, is it makes the chain, the weight of the chain, feel heavy, and it kind of gets you in a space where it's like you can't move forward, you're stuck in it, you can't. And that's like that deception energy. You're not stuck in it. If someone sends spells or magic at you, you are the power in your life. There is no one and nothing outside of you other than God that is more powerful than you. And so when you can recognize that, when you understand that you are God incarnate, and whatever anybody sends to you, it doesn't matter, because when you are in that space of your light, of your truth, of embodying your inner God, goddess energy, that you're more powerful than an army of darkness around you, okay? But this is how that energy works. Dark magic works to stick, to bind, to cause harm. And again, the entity or the person that is projecting, and usually there is, especially for high level practitioners or people who've been doing it for a while, they do have entities attached to them that are getting the energetic benefit of what they're doing to you. So it's not just the person. This is not a war against flesh and blood. It's a war against principalities. We are in a spiritual war. And if you can understand that, and understand that this world is like doing everything it can to block you from the blessings that are divinely meant for you, and to try to keep you distorted, distracted, keep you in the lower vibrational energies of fear, of lust, of pain, of trauma, keep you depressed, keep you low, because when you're in this space, that energy, that entity has power and control, right? And so here's the next part of the thing that I want to talk about. Destiny swapping. I used to think like that this was not possible. And then my angels brought it to me in a different way, where they explained it in real life situations that happen every day. And I was like, oh shit, that is actually a real thing. So destiny swap is a form of magic or ritual where someone maybe sees that you have a specific gift or a specific talent, or even like you're very attractive, something like that. And someone that you are in proximity to, this usually happens in family situations or close friendships, will go to a practitioner, or if they study certain things themselves, like Santeria, like voodoo, like other practices. And again, not everybody who does Santeria and voodoo is negative and doing negative things. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there are negative aspects to those types of practices and other practices. So they see that you have this specific gift. They may get a reading on you, or again, from a place of jealousy, from a place of coveting what you have or wanting what you have. And so they could do a ritual where they kind of swap destinies. This works by siphoning your energy in a way where they're diverting blessings that were meant for you and redirecting the energy towards themselves. Spirit, again, I'm going to use the real life examples that Spirit brought to me to explain how this works. Now, when I use these examples, not all of these examples are related to someone actively doing black magic. I want to say that. But if you've had certain things like this happen to you in your life, it definitely could be related to someone doing some sort of spell or ritual. So stealing an inheritance is a big one. Again, it's something that happens in families. If say, Grandpa Joe died and you as the grandchild were meant to get a certain amount of money or meant to get a certain property, and your parents steal that away from you, that is an example of a destiny swap. Something that was meant for you got redirected and diverted to someone else by way of theft, by way of deception. Again, that's that devil energy. Theft, deception, manipulation in negative ways, that's that energy. Okay? Doesn't necessarily mean that your parents did black magic to destiny swap. They could have just, taken the will and, changed things and all that stuff and, drained bank accounts and all that stuff. They could have done it in illegal ways. But again, that's an example though, like a real life example of a destiny swap where a blessing that was meant for you gets reverted to someone else that it actually wasn't truly meant for. I asked my guides, because this really bothered me for a while. Like, I thought, and I was saying to them, I'm like, I thought everything that's meant for us can never pass us by. And they said, yes, but energy can be diverted. Things can be slowed down. Things can be halted for a time. Things can be delayed. And that's how this energy works. That's how the dark energy works. A good example of this is say Cat Williams did a video earlier this year where he was talking about Hollywood and kind of like sharing the tea, all that stuff. He said something that is like 100% correct. The devil does not give blessings, okay? It doesn't give blessings. That is 1000% the truth. But the devil can get you to act out of character or get you compromised in a way where you would sell yourself or somebody else to receive a specific blessing. So you see destiny swapping happening a lot in like Hollywood, in the music industry, in the movie industry, all the rumors about certain people and like how they made their come ups and people around them that died mysteriously. Those are good examples of destiny swaps. Another way, like a real life example of destiny swap, is plagiarism. You write a book, you write a song, and then someone steals that book, they steal that song, and they put their name on it like they did the work. That is a great example of like an attempted destiny swap. Again, doesn't necessarily mean that they used black magic, but now when you're talking in terms of energy, there are people who know how to use the energy in a way where they can divert blessings from you and redirect it to them. And so the reason why I want to bring this through, again, if you feel like you're in a space where you've done a lot of healing work, you're doing a lot of manifestation work, things are manifesting, but they're like, you'll get a partial manifestation, but then the energy seems to stop, or everything was going well and then everything just starts to fall apart, or you notice that things are just slowing down in a way that you weren't expecting. These things could be the culprit. Now, God will a lot of times slow us down when we're about to pivot, when we're about to make a huge quantum leap. Sometimes everything that was in our life stops or slows down or falls apart because it's not meant to come with us in the new. That is absolutely true. But where you can detect if your energy is being siphoned, if you're getting psychically attacked, if it's black magic, or even if it's a destiny swap, are these things, okay? There are constant towers Like, you'll have a day where you get into a car accident, you stub your foot, your refrigerator breaks down, everything that can go wrong does go wrong. That's usually not a natural thing. Like, we have bad days, and we've all been through those experiences, but especially if it's over the course of like a week, a month, a year, where it's just like a total shit show, there could be something unnatural that's taking energy from you, so that, I'll use that car analogy again, where your battery is not at full charge, and so you're not being able to get to where you want to get, but also the density of the energy that's around you or on you is siphoning it in such a way where it's like things are going bad for you, but you see people around you, everything going well for. And when I say people around you, I'm literally talking about people in close proximity to you, people who have access to your energy on a regular basis, okay? That's one example. Another example of how to detect it is if for no reason, no medical reason, it's not a food allergy, it's not related to a medication that you're taking, you just feel so energetically drained, so tired all the time, you can't get energy, you have no motivation, and it's like, and that's not a normal space for you to be in. But it doesn't matter what you do, exercise, diet change, sitting outside in nature, you just can't ever seem to get energy. You can't ever seem to feel like yourself. You always feel a little off, and you've gone to the doctor and they haven't diagnosed anything. You've done blood work, you've done everything, and nothing is showing up. That could be an example of an energy siphoning, some black magic, or even a destiny swap. Another detection method is if you always were, like, say you have a bunch of animals and you've always been good with animals, you've always had an energy where, you were good with babies, people always liked you, and then all of a sudden animals start being hostile toward you. Everybody in your environment starts being hostile to you. They never were before, but then you always seem to attract bullies, antagonists. It doesn't matter where you go, you say hello to people, they say go fuck yourself, it's just like a total change in how like your environment reacts to you, especially if that's never been your experience. That is a great example of a destiny swap, an energy siphoning, or some black magic that's being done on you, in a way where it's like intentional, okay? Here is how to protect yourself. Always cleanse. Of course, you want to cleanse your energy every time you go out in public, especially in public places where there's a lot of people. You're going to absorb some of their energy, and so it's good to just cleanse and protect your energy when you're driving. If you are in environments that are dense and heavy, like certain workplaces, certain family members, you just want to cleanse your energy and limit your time in those places, okay? Because again, these things work. They don't have to be in your proximity to work. However, they work stronger when they're in your proximity, okay? So also just seeing, like, here's a good example too. Say you have a friend and you're always sharing your life with them, sharing your good, your bad, etc. They don't really share with you except everything's going well for them. And you have a downturn where this person's in your life, and the more that you share and the more that you're around them, things start turning bad for you. that definitely is an example of someone who you're not meant to be speaking to, someone who you're not meant to be sharing your energy with, and someone you need to kind of like separate yourself from, because there could be some level of like black magic or energy siphoning there. Protecting yourself is not as hard as you think. You don't need anybody outside of you. You don't necessarily need a reader. You don't necessarily need a practitioner. Oh, another way to detect, I'm going to bounce back and forth here, is say you do readings for yourself, you're getting readings, and all the energy that's being read around you is very positive. All right? And yet you're going through a lot of negative experiences. That also could be an indicator that there is something blocking the positive from coming in. And so that's also something that should be looked at, is where are the energetic blocks? So protecting yourself. Really get clear. You have to spend time sort of on your own, away from everybody's energy, to really get clear with your energy, with your higher self, with your inner guidance. And you want to ask these questions, okay? Who and what is siphoning my energy or sending me any negative energy manipulation or blocking my blessings in my environment? You may not get the answer right away, okay? Might take a couple days, but you will be shown. Either a person that you haven't talked to in a long time automatically texts you out of nowhere. You start dreaming of certain people. People come back around that kind of ghosted you, or like, you know, weren't in your field for a while. They start to come back around. You'll get signs and synchronicities of what isn't working or what's in your environment that's not healthy for you. That's very, very important. Also, when it comes to especially like black magic and energy siphoning, it's not enough to just cleanse and shield your energy. You actually have to step into your power and call in justice, call in balance for yourself. And you can do this through a cord cutting ritual. So I'll give you an example. This is coming up for me personally because I'm in a space where there's a lot of changes in my life. Some are positive, some are not exactly the way I thought they were going to go. But again, God is in control. So, but I'm having a lot of things that were meant to flow in just kind of completely stop. And it's not because of Mercury retrograde, and it's not because of the astrology. And so I said, energy's a little weird. What's going on? What is within me that may be blocking the energy from flowing? And what is outside of me, or if there's anything outside of me that's blocking the energy from flowing or siphoning my energy, please let me know. And so I was told immediately to do a cord cutting meditation and a cord cutting, just, setting the intention to cord cut. And so that's what I did. I did a meditation a couple days ago. I knew exactly where I needed to do that cord cutting energy and cord cutting meditation. And then I just kind of wrote down, I always have these like journals and stuff like that where I write things, okay? And I wrote down my intentions for cord cutting. And I had a couple days that were good, and then the energy dropped back down again. As someone who is highly empathic, who is psychic, I can feel when energy shifts for me. And I felt yesterday this massive, and it was towards the end of the day, this massive shift in energy, so much so where I was exhausted out of nowhere. I had full energy all day. I actually slept good the night before. I worked out, I ate healthy. So there was nothing that should have put me in that space where I felt so energetically drained that it was hard for me to drive. So I immediately noticed that. I started praying. And when I got to where I was getting, again, I was told I needed to do another cord cutting. And so I did a quick cord cutting meditation that I found on YouTube. There's a couple that I like, and I will share them after I upload this video. And then I felt good the rest of the day. I went to work out. I had my evening routine. I took it easy. I went to sleep. And I dreamt of two specific people. Separate dreams, but two specific people. And it alerted me that they were not part of the initial cord cutting that I did, but I needed to do the cord cutting again with these two specific people. And so I'm going to share this exercise that I used. You can alter this in any way, shape, or form for your highest good. But after I did this cord cutting ritual this morning, the energy completely lifted. Something that I've been waiting on for a while came through. And so you can cleanse the energy by cutting the cord, by removing access. Sometimes, again, we don't know that certain things or certain people are attached to us. And because we don't know that they're siphoning our energy or redirecting energy in a way that's not, that's harmful for us and not healthy for us. So one way to protect yourself, again, always pray, ask Archangel Michael, ask your angels and guides to protect your energy from any energy siphoning, from any black magic, from any attempts at destiny swapping. And also, you have to step into your empowered state. Tap into your I am presence, your divinity, and say, I hereby sever and cut all cords. And so I did this practice. I'm going to read it, but I'm not going to read the names, because again, it was two specific people. I called this the cord cutting affirmative prayer. Higher self, Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit, I invoke my mighty I am presence, my Christ consciousness, and my divine sovereignty, and set the following intention, that here, now, and forevermore, these specific people, their soul ties, cords, and energetic attachments to me that are draining my energy and benefiting them off of my energy be cut, severed, and fully dissolved at the root, giving me back my energy and any power that has been taken from me. I also ask and set the intention that any power or energy that I have taken from these specific people be sent back to them, cleansed, cleared, and purified for the highest good of all. I now recall all soul fragments and ask that they be cleansed, cleared, and purified and placed back into my auric field, removing all connections and contaminants from these specific people, and sealing any and all etheric tears and holes in my auric field, now and always. I ask that this be done in all timelines, all dimensions, all directions, all realities, past, present, and future, known and unknown. And I reclaim all parts of myself, including all power, energy, and soul fragments that I use my energy to quantum leap into my highest timeline and destiny of love, joy, happiness, fulfillment, and the highest forms of service to humanity. I hereby now forgive these specific people fully and completely, letting them go with love and gratitude for the learning. I am free and they are free, and all is well. Thank you for this cord cutting and healing. I now ask that the angels of healing and Archangel Raphael bring me anything I need to know for my full healing and empowerment. I accept this or something better for the highest good of all involved, and it is done. If you do something like that a couple times a day, or even like today, I did it the one time this morning, and then I felt the energy completely shift, and it's like dissolved. Sometimes you have to do it more than once. Sometimes you have to do it multiple times. You want to say it maybe day and night over the course of a week, but you'll definitely see energy shift in a way where there's more flow, where there's more balance. Of course, any other protection methods or shielding or cleansing methods that you use or that you like, whether it's crystals, frankincense, Florida water, Palo Santo, sage, use all of that in connection with setting an affirmative prayer, setting an intention that you speak out loud, where you're calling back your power and you're cutting and severing all cords and ties that don't serve you. Doing that, you'll see that like you will be able to really, really protect and cleanse and clear yourself of those types of energies. Equally, for those of you who read the Bible, for those of you who resonate with the Bible, the book of Psalms, specifically Psalms 91 and Psalms 23, I really do believe, someone who reread the Bible earlier this year, that the book of Psalms is a book of like protection against spiritual warfare and that type of energy, which this would all kind of be in that group. And so if you feel guided, speak out loud 3 to 7 days, morning and night. Definitely Psalm 91, Psalm 23 as well. But you'll notice the energy shift. Again, it's important not to be afraid of things that you may not fully understand, or not to be afraid of these lower vibrational energies. When you are in the higher energy, you are naturally protected. But energy, everything is energy, so energy can influence you. And again, when you are aware of the influence of your life around certain energies, around certain people, you can be proactive to limiting access or cutting off access and removing yourself from that energy. Everything can be cleared, cords can be dissolved, cords can be cut. Sometimes you need to do that to release any blocks in your auric field that's blocking the flow of the blessings to you. And just know that every experience that you go through, whether positive or negative, is a learning experience. It's a learning experience for you. It's a learning experience for your soul. It's helping you to step more into your power. It's helping you to access more of your gifts. And so if you're going through any heavy psychic attack, energy siphoning, black magic, even destiny swaps, understand that its purpose is not to punish you. Its purpose is to get you to fully activate your power, step into your power, use your God-given gifts, and reclaim your life, reclaim your energy, reclaim your power, reclaim that which is truly yours. Again, the devil cannot give blessings. It can divert energy, it can delay energy, but it cannot give blessings. And so when you understand that, know that God, if there was an inheritance stolen from you, if there was a job stolen from you, if there was a position or, something that was meant for you that got taken from you, understand God will bring it back to you in a better form, in a much better space. And so just continue doing the work of cutting cords. And sometimes the cords are past people that we haven't fully healed from their betrayals yet. We haven't fully healed from everything that took place. And so just understand that you are incredibly powerful. Nothing outside of you is greater than the power that you have within yourself when you connect to your God, I am presence, your divinity. And so I hope this video helped. Again, definitely cleanse your energy. Start cleansing. Make it a practice to always cleanse your energy. But also talk to your guides. Talk to your angels. What's in my energy field that's not serving me? What or who's in my proximity that's siphoning my energy? They will show you. They will tell you. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. The weather's about to change, so I am gonna hop off, but I hope this was informative. Again, just come from an empowered state where you're not afraid, because darker energy feeds on fear. And when you're not afraid of it, you have the power over it. Sending you love and blessings. Take care.